Good night, ladies and Lord Otis. I tell you, bring me on face. I get introduced Unique for dramatic effect. No, Lord. Anyhow, I hope y'all saw our theme song, dramatic, just like us, just like me. Big up to Ody Productions. If y'all are looking for any intros or outros for you guys' business, hit us up. Ody got you all at affordable rates. Okay, tonight y'all got me and of course my beautiful co-host, Kanique Maria. Who I miss.
Hello, everyone.
I miss you so much,
to the fact.
You look so cute, though. You going to Lutra and go and get cute up on me?
Child, compliments of Judah Hans, child. Judah Cosmetics. I know what she's called it, but she's do hair, makeup, and all kind of things. I let her go on YouTube and figure out how to fix my hair. And this is what
she figured it out. It is adorable because your locks are long.
Thanks.
And you got an asymmetrical bob going on.
Yeah, gal.
So adorable.
I had to spruce it up for the holidays, girl.
What holiday?
Every day is a holiday. Stop.
Oh, yes.
It's a holiday.
It's all right. It's all right.
Thanks.
So, y'all still only have cider? What you drinking?
Water.
Can you guys gotta send something to you? How you send things to Lutra?
Put it on the boat or on the plane.
On the plane? You know anyone?
I had something to drink today. I drink gin.
Oh,
and I drink. Okay. What else I drink? I drink gin or something. I still ain't, but at least it wet my throat. It's like my taste buds. Obviously, I ain't get no buzz. I just,
Are any liquor stores open at all?
Yeah, 1 or 2 liquor stores, but I ain't really been out my area yet. I literally just been in the vicinity of where my family is, which is walking distance. So
understood.
That was really
we have
it.
Someone over here that wants to send you some alcohol. So is it best if we just send you the funds?
Yeah, I can send you my account, man. Shoot, let me put my account number on. Let me get my throat wet, man. So, but yeah, I mean it's okay though. It's okay. I need to talk
success. Every day is all every day. Okay, non-essential. Listen, we ain't want that energy on this show, miss. We ain't want that energy on this show.
Raquel, you steady hating, but you gotta go to work in the morning.
No, she
gotta go to work in the morning.
She's the only one who I don't know where she work apparently, because she just gone back to work, but she off every other day.
Yeah, that's government though. Government for you. Government people don't never really work.
No.
They just gotta punch in and punch out. That's all they gotta do for the next 30 years.
People online. You see,
and then
she did it.
Oh yeah, well he deserved it though.
He did.
Absolutely. He deserved it.
He looked for that. Well, y'all, we have a lot to talk about today. We're gonna catch up and talk about what we did this week and life during the pandemic. And we also have another host tonight. We have a lot of girl energy tonight, which I'm loving. We got the beautiful Robs in the house. What's up, Robs?
Why?
Hey. Good to see you, boo. Welcome to Roe Branson Rum.
Thank you for having me, sir.
We appreciate you, baby. What you sipping on?
Wait, hold on. I gotta retrieve my glass.
Retrieve it, baby.
On this good Juneteenth.
Oh, some red wine. Whew. It looks so holy in your hand.
Oh, my Lord. Hallelujah. Hey.
It does look holy.
Do it.
Honestly. Girl, you look like you would have been Maddie out of business.
Listen to me.
This
wine been sitting in my house for a little while, right? So I was like, this is the perfect opportunity.
It is.
To
Roe Branson rum, honey.
I had no rum.
I was gonna say you had rum for a while for a minute.
Right, I have no rum. I was like, well, what I can drink, to honor the ancestors on this night.
Exactly.
What was I gonna do?
Exactly.
So I went straight to the red wine because
the first miracle act in the Bible, as Donna likes to proclaim.
It's true though. It's true though. I follow my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And the first miracle he whipped out was like, let's keep the party going. Let's bring out the water. We'll do some little razzle dazzle. Poof.
Let's keep the party going. Is correct.
Thank God.
I mean, you think the Lord and Savior would really razzling and dazzling?
I don't know what he did.
He just do the flick of the wrist like so, and that was it. It was done.
Look at the flick of the wrist. Wine babe.
That was a black man. He just did that right so, and that was it.
Wine babe. Big up Mermaid Lindsay in the house. Y'all need to watch it.
Hi, Mermaid Lindsay. I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you last night, but I saw the show and it was awesome. I gotta meet you in person though.
Oh, we arranging that.
Yes, ma'am.
I need you to tell the people who you are.
Yes.
Oh, hi. My name is Arabina.
Let's give Rabs the screen, man. Give Rabs the screen.
Oh, I get a screenshot.
Like the empress she is. Yes, girl.
Now, see, don't. Oh boy. Nah. Yes, my name is Arabina. Most people call me Rabs. I am a radio news anchor, TV show producer, writer, actress, plus size model, wine drinker. You know, HMIC, Queen of the Melanin and the Moisture.
Yes. Yes.
We do not stand ashiness in no way, shape, or form. Amen.
How can it all be honest?
Hello. You know what I'm saying? Hello.
I'm out of Jubu. So Rob, how does pandemic been treating you? Like, what are your weeks like?
You might have a secret?
We love secrets here.
Okay. So the secret is
that
my life. Oh, that was me?
Yeah, was you, girl. That pre-COVID glow.
Listen, oh Lord, that pre-COVID life was good.
Listen.
And we can get back there in the name of Jesus. We can get there. If nothing else happened in 2020, we gotta get back to pre-COVID living. But yeah, I mean, so my secret is my life really hasn't changed because I predominantly do a lot of freelance work.
Yeah.
So I work remotely, and that has been my life for the past almost 8 years. So I haven't had to go into anyone's office.
Nice.
Such a long time. So as long as I have my phone and my computer and a good Wi-Fi connection,
you good to go. You straight.
I'm straight. I be right on doing my little works, writing my little press release, you know. Doing production on my little shows.
You ever thought about writing I don't know what you call it, a press release for the PM? I think you could use some
you know, I have done a lot of political writing in my career, tell you the truth. And ironically enough, some really good speeches that you may have heard were penned by me. I don't know.
It's so cool.
You don't want to you best brag on it.
Oh, sorry. I'm allowed to brag on it, apparently.
Yes, thanks.
So, yeah, no,
so
like
cool.
the truth, like because I've written for any number of people from different parties and whatnot over and then I've also written press releases for different parties. So sometimes press releases that I send out are being quoted by other reporters. Like that's part of the job.
Got you.
You can stay and work.
All right, so everybody got to know she's a talk show host, a producer, a speechwriter for the politician STEM. She's doing all that. She's made them look good.
We know important people.
All the things, you know what I mean? All the things.
What about you, let us know about you.
What you mean let us know? Girl, what you want? What the people need to know?
Well, anyway.
What else they need to know?
I drinking.
They know all my business, Robs. All.
Who you drinking?
You drinking some belief wine? Put some on the boat, man. Put some belief wines on the boat.
Put this to my head because I had a stressful day.
What happened to you today? What you do today?
What happened? So,
why you stressed?
I don't tell you why I stressed, man. The man don't beat me no more.
Oh, why you announce that out loud? What's wrong with you, girl?
Because I am hurt. And I know there's other people out there who are hurt too.
Wait,
pause. You'll ever meet someone, they doing, all the right things. You just falling, and then they will have this conscious moment. They're like, you know what? Not right now, but just hang tight. And it's like, what?
He tried it.
But you feed me. You can't feed me and do this.
He tried it.
Wow. That sounds like sport fishing when they catch you with the bait and then throw you back in the ocean. Just take a picture.
I was flopping all on that boat. I was ready to go. Fry me down.
Man.
Fry me down.
I
get fling back into the ocean.
It's all right. It's all right. Somebody can catch you. Somebody can catch you and fillet you.
I feel sport fish. I was sport fish.
What's the thing? She can get catch and fillet. Hello.
Yeah, man. You can be straight. They can get you straight. I just like that you smiling about it. I probably would have been like, Dawn, I can't make the show tonight. I saw it.
If you don't smile, if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
It's true. It's true. Whoever break my friend's heart, I am mad at you. I can tell you about that later. But anyhow, different topic for a different day. Yeah, he tried it. So I know we are talking tonight about our wokeness in the spirit of Juneteenth.
Listen, hold on, wait a second, because the ancestors was not.
They pulled that turban.
Ancestors say what?
Fix shape.
Get this little
it's okay, baby. It's okay.
Back on board, because
that's fine.
They was doing the most. That's okay, you know.
It's okay. Tuck she ready.
You know, at least she ain't fall all the way off, because that would have been a lot.
You look
Girl, I see you without that. You are fine. You are straight.
So Juneteenth, what y'all know about Juneteenth? Because you know, Bahamians just go so hard for the people holiday day.
You stop it now. You don't throw shade in access what we know.
What you know?
And I know what I know.
What you know about
I only know what I see on Shade Room today. Okay? Thanks.
What you know about Fox Hill Day?
Oh,
I know.
Look how she throwing big rock.
Man, listen.
I know for true. I just tell you, I learned about Juneteenth today on Shade Room, but I can tell you, I know nothing but Fox Hill Day. I think somebody get burnt. Something burned down or something like that.
Jesus,
I know.
Stop.
You from Fox Hill, you tell me. I don't know. I serious.
Well,
I
that's
know.
why we having a story, and what I know the basics, guys, but hopefully Chris will be on soon to really break it down for us. Fox Hill Day was basically, the people in Fox Hill got the news 2 weeks late that the slaves was free. And so they celebrated the emancipation of the slaves 2 weeks after everybody. And they just kept it going.
Better than people in the US, because the US slaves didn't find out about the Emancipation Proclamation until 2 years after it was already. Yeah.
Well, who was the messenger? Who was sending out the news? How did we get to them?
They was happy.
2 years late.
For the niggas, they say, all right, we got to sign this little paper. Okay, y'all figure it out on your own.
Yeah, that's really what it is. They wasn't trying to let no black people know that.
No.
They was in no rush to let niggas know they didn't have to be. Now look,
some fool, eh? You can imagine. I find out I could have been off 2 years earlier.
I mean, it wasn't like much. It wasn't like much was changing.
And like it's gonna be a different. They still treat you like crap. You still get lynched. You're still probably just gonna figure it out on your own. So at the end of the day, what changed?
Was still occurring.
Still occurring.
Yeah. You realize?
So you know it is what it is.
Most slaves that couldn't read, only a handful of them could read. So even if you post the proclamation somewhere,
where you going? You ain't
Who's gonna see it? Who's gonna read it?
Read it. You know what I mean?
Who's gonna read it? Everybody from the northern side was so sophisticated up there. They were probably the only ones who could have read. The people in the south was lost. So that's why they get 2 years later, because somebody from the north probably say, hey, look here, y'all know y'all free. We been up there free for the last 2 years, you know. I believe that's how it happened. It's like, hey, we y'all free up there? Yeah, all us free, the whole country free. Oh, I didn't know. I think that's what happened.
Okay, we're not making of the ancestors. We're not.
No, we're not.
That is her enacting what possibly.
No, I'm serious. I really believe this is how it happened. Seriously, I feel like it was like the people in the south didn't know, the people in the north knew, and somebody from the north just say spread the word, and it reached to the south like that long because of course ain't no technology.
When the boy
I never watch it, you know,
and up in the south, and because he was a free slave. And someone,
he
was a black man. No, 12 years a slave. He was free.
Yeah, no, he was very free.
He didn't know nothing about slavery
he
like
was
that.
Very free, but
and
not how
he was tricked, and he wake up in the south as a slave, and he was like, "What the hell kind of black thing is this?" And he was a slave for 12 years. He had to escape. So, but y'all, Chris is back. Jesus, just in time, so he could teach us. Chris, welcome to the show. We got Bahama Papa. Better know that's Mr. Strong.
Hey, Chris.
Collect gold, Zada in the building.
Hello.
So he was touching on Juneteenth, boo. Oh, that's Kanique. That's Kanique, and that's Rabs.
You should remember me, I think.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes. So share a little bit of what in the world is Juneteenth? Break it down.
Juneteenth is basically like I guess you could call it like the American Fox Hill Day, in that emancipation was already proclaimed in the U.S., but the slaves in Texas, that's where the proclamation was read that Juneteenth is about. They didn't know. So they were existing in slavery. And actually, for a while after the proclamation was made, a lot of slaves were still living in slavery. And even after Juneteenth, slaves were still living in slavery in Texas, where Juneteenth occurred. So what happened was a Union general came to Galveston, and he read the proclamation that slaves were free, and that's basically what Juneteenth was in June 19th, 1865. I think. Yeah, 1865.
I see your raps.
So that's
you know plenty things. Cool.
So that's basically what it is, and why I say it's like the Bahamian Fox Hill Day is that Fox Hill Day was when slaves in Fox Hill found out that emancipation had occurred in the Bahamas, and the reason why that took place was that they say it took 1 week and 1 day for the officials to travel from Nassau in the city to outside of the city, and not just Fox Hill, but also in Gambia and Adelaide. So all of the outlying settlements got the Emancipation Proclamation after everybody else. Fox Hill was the largest of the African settlements, so I think that's why they call it Fox Hill Day. But it was like everybody got the message late. If you were in a town or like Carmichael was further away, but still close enough where they could get it in time.
Right.
You didn't know. So you still, yes sir, no sir. Right here.
For nothing.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Let me tell you something. If it was me, after emancipation, I was going to I reclaim my master. You 2 weeks worth of them, they belong to me.
You saying that now, Robs, because you an emancipated Robs. Slavery and shackle Robs might have been like that.
I thank God that I was born in the era that I was born in, because I wouldn't have made it.
I don't think you would have made it neither, Robs. I ain't even gonna lie. I really don't think you would have made it.
Lord.
You don't have time for all her rigmarole. Just string up. I wouldn't make it.
So just string up. No, Lord, no. Me and Kenny could have been there. No, Master, please. No, Robs, please. No.
Listen to me, I'd have been humming. But God is good. Because we here.
That could have been me. Do what you doing.
Yeah.
Whatever you into,
I can see Rob's cussing while they dragging her.
I see a comment here. Somebody says, we still slaves, just making salaries now. Right. What you guys think about?
Right in the land, it's in Bahamas.
Okay.
Change from yes, master, no, master, to yes, ma'am.
Good evening. How can we help you tonight?
Wow.
That's all it changed to. Because who we catering to? White people. And the majority of our tourists aren't even, the irony, the majority of our tourists aren't even rich white people.
Oh, ain't that the boat? You know what?
We subservient to a bunch of people who have less than us. We think that because they come here, these people, like she said, they saved their whole life.
Their whole life.
The average Bahamian to go to the States on a given weekend.
Yeah.
In high school, we used to joke about a couple of the people in my class. We used to joke and say, a couple of them, they used to be in the States so much just for the weekend with their family. You say, white girl is like, oh, we out of macaroni. We ain't going to Solomon's. Come, let's go on Bahamas. We go on Walmart. Yeah, or we go on BJ's.
Honestly, listen to me. When I was coming up, them one day Walmart trips was regular. You just go on the flight in the morning, you be in Walmart all day, you come back on the flight in the afternoon.
Good boy.
Yep.
My God.
Let me ask y'all something.
Go ahead, baby.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Donna. Go ahead.
I was just going to piggyback on them because I was like, in traveling, you really realize what you're grateful for. Because poverty to Bahamian is, I only could have gone away twice this year. And I grew up with people who, the first time on the plane was to visit me and they was like 25.
Mm-hmm.
Never you born and you dry off a little bit. How much famous people got passport photo and then the little baby thing? What you gonna like?
Me, the little, where somebody got you holding up your back. And
right. Like ain't no baby got no passport all over the place.
No, but you know what?
It's true.
I think that just speaks to that speaks also to the relationship that especially Black Americans and their experience that they have compared to like Caribbean countries. Because I was talking to a friend of mine and we was talking about Caribbean privilege.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Caribbean privilege and also very specifically Bahamian privilege because we right there.
Girl, someone just DM me today and was like, y'all need to talk about Bahamian privilege.
The first time they go to the States, they either go in the way to school or, you know what I mean? A lot of people, whereas, like we was just saying, you know, Bahamian babies be on the first flight they could get on.
The minute that mold dry. That don't even be dry.
That won't even be dry.
My mommy had me in October, and my daddy was vibing in November, and in December she had me in Minnesota.
Dramatics.
Dramatic.
My God.
So she say she ain't gonna be with this man and this her friend's baby, and he ain't wanna come home. So she going to Minnesota where her sister live. I didn't know babies could travel that fast. I was like, you sure everything was done firm? Like turbulence.
Ah, Lord. I mean, 2-3 weeks out, you was already in the States.
And I go on October 28th. Say that again.
I can't.
What do you say, Rox?
Let me ask you all a question. As far as the progressive move, I'd say progressively speaking for Black people, not Black people, Bahamian people. I can say Black, Bahamian people in general, because we already talked about briefly on Bahamian privilege. Do you guys feel like we have progressed in any sense of the word when it comes to the community, and if so, and how, and you could elaborate on that. In particular, I'd like I know y'all are historians, so I would like y'all to touch on that area too.
Which community? The Black community or the Bahamian community in general?
The Bahamian in general. I ain't gonna segregate it too heavy just yet.
Not tonight.
I know, Chris, I already know how you go. You're pro-Black. But I want you to just touch generally with Bahamians first, and then you could delve into whatever you go into after that.
You know, if you say have we progressed for the Bahamian community in general, no, because if it's simple as it was today, somebody asks about the history of gambling in the Bahamas and why Bahamians aren't allowed to gamble, and a lot of people think that it stems from a racism thing, but it's not even really racism in that. The colonial government, way back in 1901, they first implemented anti-gambling laws. It wasn't made illegal outright, but that was the first time anti-gambling laws were put into place, and it only applied to Bahamians, whether Black or white. A few years later, they came up and they changed the laws to completely prohibit gambling for all Bahamians, again, Black or white. And then they even tried to include foreign residents who've been living in the Bahamas for so long that you basically are Bahamian.
Right.
Because the colonial government was that gambling, Bahamians ain't good enough to gamble. They don't have no Bahamian, whether they Black or white, they don't have the sense enough to say, let me stop here. Only the foreigner,
some sort of protection of the people.
Only
that's babysitting.
Only the foreigner have the sense to say, well, let me gamble all I got, and you know that would be no issue for the foreigner. But for Black or white Bahamians, it was no gambling, and that's today the same thing. You know, we talk about it's a Black thing, but 15% of our population is Black. I mean, is white. You know, that law applies to every Bahamian. Because the British, they felt as if no Bahamian was good enough for it, and that's how the colonial government was. The colonial government was, of course, there was racism, but a lot of it was classism in that they felt as if the loyalists weren't as good as them from England. They felt as if the white Bahamians who came from Bermuda and had been there for all those years weren't as good as them because, you know, we're from England. We speak Queen's English. There's absolutely no possible way that the fact that we have the same skin color, we are on par because you're an islander. There are things. And, you know, the irony is that they're also islanders.
Yeah.
An island.
So here it is, you know, they look down on all Bahamians, and that same notion was passed down from when the UBP came over and the UBP was in charge of the government. They were white Bahamians, but they still kept that same notion that no Bahamian was good enough to gamble because they were white Bahamians. That law applied to them as well. The PLP kept it. That law applied to them as well.
I hear you.
F&M came in, F&M kept it. So in many aspects, no, we haven't progressed as a society.
So let me touch on that.
Oh.
You said something just now. You said when the PLP came in, they kept it. The F&M came in and they kept it. And my observation when it comes to certain laws and things that we've already put in place from that time that should be friggin' reviewed, if you ask me, and haven't been touched. Yeah. I want to know, what are your views when it comes to all of the governments in the past regarding revision of the laws that would have been in place, and I guess applicable from the 1970s versus now? What is your opinion based on that?
I think a lot of our society is based on, well, what's the issue? You know, that mindset that it's not been an issue this whole time. Why is it an issue now? So even though there may be legitimate reasons as to why it's an issue now, because, you know, society has changed and mindsets change, values change, ideas change. So naturally, laws should change to, you know, reflect that. But for a great deal of our society, we feel as if, well, nothing was ever an issue before, so why change it? And if we look at the whole gambling thing, gambling law came into effect in 1901. The hobby horse racetrack was built in, I think, 1777. So from 1777 to 1901, for almost 200 years, the law was that Bahamians could gamble, but it changed. So why is you saying it don't need to change anymore?
I agree.
I hear you.
We only find the need to revisit things when the white man come in and it affecting the foreign white man and how they could do business in the country.
Yeah, we see Mermaid Lindsay, she agreeing with you. She says all laws need to be reviewed and adjusted.
It definitely does.
Precisely.
It definitely does.
You know, I was shocked to find out a few years ago that, you know, I mean, maybe this isn't the best example, but I was shocked to find out, I don't know how true it is, that it's illegal to kill a seagull in the Bahamas.
Okay.
And
I didn't know that.
The reason behind outlawing that was because way back in the 1700s and the 1800s, wrecking was a big industry in the Bahamas, receiving, salvaging goods from wrecked ships. And ships wrecked so much because there were so many reefs and so many sandbanks, and, you know, the area wasn't properly mapped, that they didn't know what was going on. So the thing was that they said, we're going to steal your goods from your boat, but we can leave these seagulls. Nobody could kill seagulls, so that when these people actually shipwreck, they can know that if a seagull flying in this area,
that's a ship over there.
No, follow the seagull to land.
Because so they was assets right then.
Seagulls don't fly away far from land. So they said, we can let your ship wreck, but we can still help you a little bit, so that when your ship wreck, you know that if the seagull flying left, follow that seagull left, and eventually you'll reach land.
I see. So but they were like little assets and like little messengers, so they were valuable creatures at that time.
Right.
Yeah. That's fun.
But if you look at it now, why we still need that law?
Very interesting. We don't.
You shouldn't kill a seagull. But my God, I ain't getting arrested if I miss a knock down a bird. I ain't doing it. It don't make sense.
But back then, it made sense because it was very vital for you to find land.
No satellite and no light, nothing. You need that.
2020. Yeah, you needed that back then. But it's 2020. Like, come on, y'all.
Sorry, I just come back on the tail end of this conversation, but it sounds like you're talking about the need to update laws.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, no, yeah, I agree with that. I think there are so many antiquated, out of date, irrelevant laws on the books that need to be changed. The issue is that our independent government simply adopted so many of the laws that the British had and the British kept and all these different things. So many of them were just adopted, and then we renamed them instead of, you know, the British or the Queen's something, we name it Bahamas National.
Yeah. Facts.
We have not ever in the history of an independent Bahamas sat down, evaluated the needs of the people as they are, and decided, okay, these are the laws that make sense.
Yeah.
This is how we improve on what was there. And these are new laws and institutions that need to be created if we are to move forward.
Well, you know, the
absolutely.
We are 50 years of independence. No better would be a time.
Would be now, exactly.
Than, you know, leading up to 50 years, you know, it's 47 this year. So you think over the next 2 years, leading up to the 50th year, revisit the Constitution, revisit the laws, see how these things have affected us as an independent nation, see if they are beneficial to us, see if they are worth keeping, see what needs to change. And you know, in line with celebrating 50 years of independence, we can say,
honest to God. Honest to God.
Hi, if I might interject.
Yo, we have a lot of comments.
A lot of folks. And our governments we are not known for efficiency, honey bunnies. I started to tell
not
you.
In the latest.
And then, you know, efficiency, the government is ignored. So,
my God.
Okay, so I know Donna said that we had a lot of comments. So I know Donna, you want to read on some of the comments?
Yeah, first of all, Mermaid Lindsay says, Chris, she really wishes you were her history teacher in class. I think we all could agree. We wish Chris was our history teacher because I can't remember his name, but he didn't teach me none of these things.
No, ma'am, but y'all don't get down on the teachers too much because they
the people got to teach what the people give them for the curriculum to learn.
To go to. We need people like Chris.
No, but I honestly,
it ain't them.
It ain't them. It's
the Ministry of Education who infiltrate the school system with some kind of curriculum that don't make no sense.
Chris could be one rebel teacher. He could pull out the VHS.
I had a history teacher that said, "This is how it really goes, but this is what you're supposed to put on your exam."
That's what you do. Bam.
I had a teacher like that too, Mr. I remember.
Don't call him name. Don't call him name. Get him in trouble.
No. He didn't get in trouble because he was an amazing teacher. He got amazing BGCSE results, amazing BJC results every year. Mr. Brian Herman. Brian Herman, he went above and beyond, and he would tell us, and he would, you know, say, this is what's going to be on the BJC. But this is the full story.
This is how it really going.
Yeah. Let me touch on that. I have two things to segue it, if that's the case.
Say, focus on this. Say, take a pic. Let us use our phone in class to take a picture. Say, take a picture of this so that you know to study for this, for the BJC.
That makes a lot of sense.
For the final exam. But this whole thing.
This life.
Exactly.
This is reality. This is what happened.
Let me ask y'all something because it brought me to two questions. One, I know Donna wanted to mention the Uncle Benjamin's rice and the Aunt Jemima pancake mix and how that's a conversation in the U.S., whether that should be changed based on everybody having that conversation that it's based on, you know, the slavery, stereotypical, you know, condescending tones. So what do you guys feel? Do you guys feel like, hold on, we've been eating all this Uncle Ben rice and eating pancake all this long? Or you feel like, let's just change the name because now we know, so we do better.
Change it.
Boy,
okay.
The reality, this is my take on that whole situation. The more like this particular civil rights movement, right, has exposed how many holdovers, how many things that we have come to simply accept as fact and reality are holdovers from slavery and plantation life.
Yeah.
I don't want it. My Grammy ain't nobody mommy.
That's a vibe.
I hear you loud and clear.
You know what I mean? And whether we in the Black community understand it or believe it or realize it, we have been seeing all of these negative images of ourselves. You stick the big Black woman in the kitchen because that's where she belongs. Like, I'm into all that.
You're right.
In 2020, get your marketing people together and figure out some new shit.
I hear for jobs. I didn't even think about it that way. I didn't even think about it that way.
I don't care how long. It could have been 150 years. Jemima been on the box. I don't care.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Jemima put her on the box. Thank God she managed to, like, I was reading up on her specifically.
Yeah.
And her family was able to, like, she died a millionaire basically because they used, you know what I mean? But not like the majority of Black people whose likenesses are being used to like perpetrate these awful
They ain't benefiting from it.
They ain't benefit.
Yeah,
y'all go back to the drawing board, figure some shit out. Stop using black women for your own stinking, dirty, racist behaviors.
Yeah. You talking?
No, you're right about it.
Yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth.
All them people in your that you paying millions of dollars, they have plenty degrees. Put them to work.
Real.
Yeah.
Rebrand it.
Rebrand that bullshit. No, I'm not here for it. I'm not here for all this. Yeah. And then you have I've seen a lot of conversation even amongst the black community that they say we being too sensitive and things like that. But honestly, we as black people, generally speaking, and not just in the United States, all over the world, we need to start rethinking how we see ourselves.
Yeah.
Because
and those little tones.
Those little things help make
racism and colonialism and all of that. How we see ourselves is being shaped by that.
No, and you know what the crazy thing about it is, like I was saying earlier, the Bahamas and Caribbean countries have a different relationship with race because a lot of our modern day history things that we learn and we remember date back to colonialism only.
Yeah.
We don't think about what before emancipation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We think about our history in terms of, the colonial masters, the loyalists and all this other stuff. But it is disrespectful to the ancestors, and I'm not about that life. I'm not here to stand for no disrespect of the ancestors, and whether or not you claim them as the ancestors, they are.
You're right.
I think it boils down to just the whole phrase that everybody often says, ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
And because a lot of people just really didn't know that was the case, they were fine with it. And now that you know that is the case, it's outrage, and people who can't necessarily agree with the outrage say, well, we were fine with it. What's with the issue now? We were fine with it.
We know better.
We didn't know. We didn't know.
No, and the thing is, we didn't know, but the company was well aware because over the years,
they know.
If you look at the branding, it has changed. It went from big black mommy in a
head and a big fat red.
And it changed over the years because they knew it was racist, and they knew it was only a matter of time before somebody catch on. But now. Y'all messed around and been racist in the middle of a pandemic when ain't nobody else. You don't got shit to do.
We got time.
Another example that a lot of people don't talk about: Jack Daniels.
The slave.
What happened was that while everybody knows that this is a very popular whiskey, it tastes good, and I get like, I like Scott, I like all of them. The recipe was invented
by a
black slave.
So can we have this conversation? Because the issue for me is that I always tell people, we're the innovators. We was doing all the work, so it only makes sense that all the shit we've been using this whole time was invented by black people because niggas was literally trying to figure out how to make their work go a little better.
If the niggas in the cornfields, who you think to figure out what to do with the corn when only a little bit of corn left over?
You, Master don't know shit but that.
Real.
I don't want to offend your people.
Baby, you talking real. This is life. This is what we need.
Exactly. Master knows. And then the thing is, you have to realize that at the time when the slaves were being innovative, they were property. So you see what I'm saying? So they could never take
all of these innovative things that white people call innovative now, they started out as a result of African slaves or in the Caribbean, African or Native American slaves having to make was left. And why I say that?
That is crazy.
No.
All the Europeans knew sugarcane for was sugar.
Yep.
Rum is a byproduct of sugarcane. Rum is a byproduct.
Even processed meat. Even processed meat. When we think about processed meat is the remnants, the pig intestines, and all of the remains of the animals that are rejected from the household, and they give it to the slaves. And we learn how to make gumbo. We learn how to make some good hamburger meat. We learn how to actually put together some food. So at the end of the day. It's definitely
look at the Bahamas. Dry conch. The best way to do conch and rice is with dry conch.
With dry conch.
Yeah.
Come from taking it out the ocean.
Yep.
To beating it on the rock.
Hallelujah.
Hanging it on the line for days with salt and all them kind of stuff. And let it dry out and get hard.
Yep.
Not to make your rice. Because you can't use no fresh hog for your rice.
No,
you can get fresh
no, I gotta get dry out. So
only way you can get fresh hog is if you go in the hog and hunt for it.
Yeah.
And sweetie, you can't let Master know you was out doing anything other than his work.
Because when
absolutely,
what
crazy.
What is your slave master going to say? Where you get this fresh hog
from? Right? Who you see? Oh, see, no, you lose a hand with a hog.
Yeah, you probably would have. You probably would have.
It's time to go get this fresh hog.
Listen, if we would touch on that, even the preservation of food, how we used to preserve food. We've just learned how to be creative.
No, but the thing is, you have to remember that that wasn't something that we was necessarily learning to know. Like Black people, African people, people of African descent are generally very connected to Mother Earth. Whether or not we acknowledge that in these days and times, there's something that I like to call diasporic memory.
Yeah,
right? There is, and that is real. That is shit that you just know.
You don't know why you're doing it, but you just know it will work.
Diasporic memory.
That's how I feel with cooking.
It's like you say diasporic memory.
Your blood.
You say diasporic memory, but that, even though that's what you're saying, but when you look at, say, genetics and the fact that you see,
you can pass down trauma, happiness, memories, all kinds of things.
But I mean like phenotype. Say black skin versus white skin.
Right.
You see white skin typically descended from colder climates.
Right.
Why? Because colder climates don't need as much melanin to process the sun to deal with their environment. Blacker skin, darker skin, whether you are, whether you are black, whether you are light skin, whether you are Arabic, whether you are Aborigine, all of these people of color, the Native Americans, all of them have a darker skin color.
Yeah.
Why? Because of the diasporic memory that translated into their actual genes and said, hey, we started out maybe a different color because the Native Americans came from Asia. So they weren't always as dark as they were.
Right.
But they came from Asia. And when they got into southern United States and when they got into Central America and South America and the Caribbean, and
the body produced more melanin to process
precisely.
Survival.
So it's just like what Arabia said, that diasporic memory, that's the same thing with how everybody looks the way they look today.
Yeah. No, I was reading this article recently about Pangea, and I don't know how many of you know about Pangea. So basically, so I have a theory, and I'm calling.
Tell us what is Pangea first. Tell us what it is first, so the viewers and I can know.
So what Pangea is that before the Earth that we know today did not look like the Earth it always looked like. 10,000 years ago, the Earth didn't look the same way. It looked similar to what it looks like, but 10,000 years ago, it didn't look like what it looks like. And Pangea was, I think, about maybe 50 million years ago. Approximately 50 million years ago. It was one big landmass. One big landmass. Where basically every piece of land that we know today
was connected.
I remember that in history class.
Through the processes of earthquakes, volcanoes,
it split up stuff.
Custom movement, different places split. So even if you look at, say, mainland Africa and Madagascar, Madagascar is like a puzzle piece, and the shape and the outline of Madagascar
from where it cracked off from the original landmass. Exactly.
Cool.
Central Africa. Cuba and the Caribbean islands, they fit perfectly into
connected
and South America because it was all
one big puzzle piece.
It was all. That's what it all was.
Yeah, literally one big puzzle piece. Yeah.
If you look
So my theory, y'all bear with me because
hold on. Let me have a drink. Let's all take a drink.
So that's my little. This is how it gone down, right? In my head, this how it gone down.
This how it gone down.
See what I'm saying? So Pangea. The earth split up, the land masses divided. People who was on certain land masses at the time got pushed to certain parts of the world, right? Now, as far as I'm concerned, we all started off as the black folk. We are the original people, right?
Yeah.
So the Pangea, right? That's facts.
That's true. That's facts.
Yeah. No.
Every human being on the earth came from a black woman.
Yeah, people believe that the Garden of Eden was in Africa, and specifically in Ethiopia.
So we all see that?
Yes, baby.
So anyway, so the Pangeans, the Pangea people, that's what I'm calling them. We ain't calling them white people no more. We ain't calling them white folk no more. They Pangea people. Right. So the Pangea people, they got sort of relegated to one specific portion of the world, right? And what happened? So Chris, babe. So just be here for 2 seconds. So when, and again, as Chris was saying, colder climates and things, right? Colder climates. Right. So when they started breeding, they bred lighter and lighter because they needed less and less melanin. Yep. Right? And by the time it all settled down and everything stopped moving, we had the Pangea people. Now, we can talk a little Bible history as well. So this is what I felt like, don't make that face, Chris.
We have a question. Is the world round or flat?
Yeah, that's why I made that face, because I saw that question. It's
so that's the producer making funny.
Very much round. Very much round.
Yeah.
So the Pangea people was visited by Satan. Satan said, just
this took a turn.
Go ahead, Rob. So me and your theory.
Was visited by the devil. And the devil said,
is the devil a white man? Is this
he probably is a Pangean.
Y'all ain't gonna talk with my ancestors.
No, I wasn't sure if this was like a.
Let me add a theory, Mark.
My people from Long Island, Puerto Rico, and Scotland. Y'all ain't gonna talk with my ancestors like that.
Listen to me, Satan is a white man.
I don't have to come to grips with my history, baby.
Ain't nothing else y'all can tell me.
All us got some Satan in us.
The devil is a white man, and you can't tell me no different anyway.
That's not a
so Satan went to the Pangea people, right? And he said, "You see them old, beautiful, melanated folks over there. You know they God chosen people, right? But what about y'all? They definitely all lives matter the situation." He said, "Now look," he said, "They God's chosen people. But what about y'all? Why y'all ain't special? Just
y'all matter.
And don't glow in the sun. Just cause that's up. No. See now, look, y'all have to be sure. You can't allow them to gain no more strength. You can't allow them. So now y'all have to decide amongst yourselves that y'all go in there to take over. That's where that sense of entitlement comes. And you see why people just show up and feel like they can take over everything. That's the devil.
And that's your theory.
That's how it's going down.
Rob say
you can't tell me no different. I just tell someone I'm about to make this movie. That's a whole movie plot right there.
Right. No, that's a good movie though.
That's the real thing right there.
So if we look at a historical standpoint.
Yes, let's get back to reality now.
If we
I like that theory.
Since we gotta do all the history and stuff.
We come back down to earth. People of color existed, and I say people of color because it wasn't just black people, but blacks, Middle Eastern, Asians.
All of we black. I hate when people start making that difference.
No, when I say that differentiation, because even in the 1400s, 1500s, then there was like cultural differentiations and all that. Right. So that's what I mean.
Okay.
So the Asians, the Middle Easterns, the Africans, everybody existed in superiority to Europeans.
Yeah, because
that's a historical fact.
They always
Rob big man.
The oldest universities are based in Asia and Africa Timbuktu. Everybody would say, "Where you get that from? You get that from Timbuktu? How far?"
That's a phrase. Yeah.
But Timbuktu was one of the greatest empires in all of world history. It was one of the greatest cities in all of world history. It had the oldest universities in the world, older than any university in Europe. The only other place that had universities was Asia. The only time Europeans actually started to get in superiority to people of color after the Silk Road, and they started trading silk, and they realized that, wow, the Arabs, they got some good stuff. They got some good stuff there. So let's start taking some of the Arab stuff. And they started taking some Arabic culture. And if you look at my last name is Ayala Strawn. Ayala is Spanish today. That's like the Puerto Rican roll. Like how everybody in the Bahamas is a roll.
Say Puerto Rican roll.
No, but I'm being serious. Everybody in Puerto Rico is an Ayala. My mom, she'll joke. When we're watching the news, when I'm watching the South Florida news, she'll see somebody say such and such Ayala. She'll see, oh, Chris, that's your cousin.
Probably so.
That's just a rule. Everybody got that last name. But Ayala did not become a European last name until the Moors invaded the Iberian Peninsula. So that was a Muslim last name from Africa.
Right.
Today, that's one of Spain's most widespread last names. And you look at say the whole preservation using salt to preserve meats and all that kind of stuff. Where'd that come from? That came from Africa. Yeah. When the Europeans started trading with Africa to get their gold and stuff, and they realized, whoa, y'all Africans, y'all have like buildings and universities and libraries. And all of these kind of stuff. The Europeans started taking a little from Asia, a little from Southeast Asia and the Middle East, a little from Africa, until they say, okay, guys, now this is where I could take a little bit of a Robin from Robs and be like, this had gone down.
Yes.
Just biting swag. Just biting swag.
They all got into one. They all got into one European Middle what is it? Not
Middle Eastern?
Medieval castle.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had a little caucus and said, hey.
Yeah, they had the caucus for the caucus.
Yeah, they had the caucus.
The caucus.
Yeah.
And then they said, look.
They said, now see, we've been taking little bit.
They said the niggers.
Tell the story, Chris.
The niggers got this.
Tell the story, Chris.
They said the niggers got X. They said the Arabs got Y. And the Chings got Z. So if we get X, Y, Z together, if we get X, Y, Z together, we can all, go and branch off into our own places, but keep X, Y, Z, and then go back into all those other places and say, well, y'all don't have Y and Z, y'all don't have X and Z, y'all don't have
True.
Y'all gotta come to us.
Because we look at Christianity. And we say Christianity is the white man's religion. And I hate when people say that. Why I hate when people say that? It's because white people did not have Christianity first. The oldest.
No, hold on. Let me stop you there.
Hold on. The oldest church in existence today is the Coptic Church based in Alexandria, Egypt. Centuries before the Roman Catholic Church came about.
No.
Ethiopia came about before.
Let me correct your verbiage.
Let
me correct your verbiage right quick.
Christianity that we know today.
Okay, now see, now come on.
That's why I say let me say it. Christianity that we know today is as a result of the white man. But the Christianity that we know today is.
I agree. I was waiting on the correction.
I can say that.
Because the reality is Christianity is stolen pieces of a lot of tribal religions out from the continent, stolen pieces, stolen stories that they whitewashed to make Christianity as we know it. I just want,
because
needed some course correction.
If we could acknowledge, because I think it's so silly that people go with this whole Christianity is a white man's religion. If we acknowledge that Christianity comes from Judaism, and we acknowledge that Judaism comes from the Middle East, people of color, and Christianity came directly out of that, how you can tell me the white man invented Christianity?
But the white man didn't.
It over.
No. It wasn't called Christianity.
No, it wasn't.
Exactly. That's a white man invention.
Precisely.
That's my point. It was a white man invention. So Jesus Christ
never said that he came to invent Christianity. He said that he came to show a new way. Okay. And the thing is,
in the Bible.
But that's what Christ says, that he came to show a new way. If we can acknowledge that Judaism had several new ways in the Old Testament, because the Old Testament is the Torah from Judaism, and we love to say the sins of the father fall upon the child. That was, I think, in Exodus. By the time as we get to Ezekiel, that changed from the sins of the father fall upon the child to literally no longer shall the sins of the father fall upon the child.
It's not like we need to have a religious show.
I'm serious, because y'all, I mean, we run from Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben all the way to Judaism and Christianity and a thing.
But look at how all that ties into antiquated laws.
Mm-hmm.
If we hold on to the sins of the father fall upon the child, and we'd love to say that, but the Bible also says 2 chapters down, no longer shall the sins of the father fall upon the child. Why we got these same old laws in place? Why we have things from the white man telling the black man what to do? Why we have things?
And
if we take it out of the Bahamas, the majority of the people in Mexico are Native American. Why they got things from what the white man telling the Native Americans what to do?
Yeah,
in Guatemala and the D's and Honduras and all these other people, all these other places.
So how could you bring that home? How could we somehow begin change, where we could change the laws to make it current with the eras we live in? What do you do? What do you do as a commoner? We gotta burn something down, eh?
I didn't tell y'all.
Strongly in property destruction.
I'm just saying.
I with you, Rob. Me and you would be trotting on the road. I ain't scared and I ain't care. I want somebody to inbox me any fool.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, as certain human beings, and it's not even just a Pangea People reference, but some niggas only understand violence.
Mm-hmm.
Some people only understand.
That's how a lot of changes happen. Even in the Bible.
Listen to me.
A lot of violence is used.
You only need to slap a hoe one good time.
and maybe that goes back to what Rob's saying about diaspora.
One good time.
Because if you have different African tribes settle their differences through war and violence.
The Ashanti people of Ghana, that's the war tribe of the country. And
I'm glad she said it, because West Africa, they were warring. South Africans, they weren't as violent as West Africans.
I think we need to look at trying to find a way where we could actually look into seeing where we derive from. Even the Bahamas, I know we have
lesser fighting Africans. We the passive set.
Well, Angla and the passive.
For sure. They dropped us off last. We was very well behaved on that boat. We ain't fighting.
But the thing about it is, in a lot of stops for slavery, because of our location, the Bahamas is the first stop.
Yeah.
The first stop?
And a lot, because of where we are.
First they way up from the bottom up.
No.
No, I thought they were dropping off.
No, and then that's what they do. That's what they do.
As he was rude, they was like, you first.
No. That's what they do today with boat and plane. And they say, when this plane leave Nassau, we go into Rock Sound first, because that's the furthest settlement.
And then we come back up
to Northern Lutra, because that's closest to Nassau, and then we can fly back to Nassau. That's what they do, because you can do that with gas. When you flying with sail, when you boating with
sail, on boat, we got you.
Provisions, you coming from Europe.
You gotta make sure your shit alive.
Place is the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And you can
you find that many of the slave settlers who landed, say, in Jamaica. I know a lot of Ghanaian people. My family is Ghanaian.
Yes, baby.
A lot of Ghanaians landed up in Jamaica. A lot of Ashantis landed in Jamaica.
Yeah.
A lot of War Tribe people landed in Jamaica, which is generally why Jamaicans are very hot-headed, because Ashantis ain't too much slap that.
Understood.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out. As Bahamians, we need to figure out what I mean, even before they arrived here in 1800. I want to know what happened prior to, who dropped us here, and what village we come from.
No, a lot of Nigerians. The thing is, because you have, okay, so the continent of Africa, the countries, and each country could have, several different tribes.
Yeah.
So like it really would it would depend. But there are a lot of Nigerian, a lot of Bahamians with who could trace their roots back to Nigeria. They might be Igbo, and I'm basing this purely on what you look like. A lot of Bahamians, right? You know what I mean? A lot of Bahamians are Igbo people.
Between Igbo, Mandinka, Nango, Congo, and to a lesser extent Ashanti.
Yeah.
But
not so much Ashanti, but maybe
that's why I said to a lesser extent.
Yeah, Fanti.
And Fula.
Yeah. Fulani people.
Fulani.
Yeah, the Fulani people.
Well, wherever we come from, we was the meekest of the meek.
No,
because
I don't think that's what it is.
No,
I don't think that's what it is.
Bahamian people to me are very positive.
No, that's conditioning. That don't have nothing to do with where you come from. That don't have nothing to do with where you come from, Sweden.
But why only us so conditioned? Because a lot of
I won't say that. I will say that we have the most in common with another former colony, Barbados. And another similarity that Barbados and the Bahamas has is that Barbados, for its entire colonialization period, it was either Portuguese, and the Portuguese didn't even really colonize. All they did was name the island. They was there for about 10 years. It didn't work out. They left the island uninhabited, and then the English came in, and the English were there the entire time until they got independence. From 1600s to independence, the Bahamas was the same way.
Yeah.
From 1600s to independence, we were always English. Yes, the Spanish came in, and the Spanish said, well, we will destroy Christchurch Cathedral, and we will destroy the forts. And the French came in and said, we will destroy Nassau, and we will claim Nassau. But even when the French claimed Nassau, the English still was the government. The governor still was an English governor.
Chris, we gotta bring you back for another show, man, because I just see we over time.
It's like Arabia said.
Chris ain't even listening to me.
Oh, we over time?
Finish your thought, baby. Go ahead.
It's just conditioning. That's all it is. Conditioning. We've had the same people telling us the same thing. If we look at our xenophobia with Haitians, we had our slave masters.
I want to have a show specifically just on that xenophobia with Bahamians and Haitians and Jamaicans and other nationalities.
And slave masters in all colonies felt as if that the slaves are going to influence everybody else and to start their own revolutions. So the slave masters tell them that, look, the Haitians were vile and lawless and
conditioning.
Education. They lacked religion. At this time, everybody was Christian. They lacked religion, and that's why, there's so much focus on Haitian voodoo compared to everybody else in their witchcraft. When the Bahamas have Obeah, Cuba have Santeria, everybody have their own witchcraft.
But we scared of Haitian voodoo.
Refrain from calling ancestral religions witchcraft, please.
Precisely, and that's the point. Because it is a religion.
Yeah, let's not call.
Okay, guys, I feel like this conversation is so heavy, and y'all got so much thoughts, and it's a focus on this. So we're gonna have to do another retake of this, honestly, because that means we're gonna have to, put some questions in place. Y'all look at it, bring y'all answers, and touch on that. Because y'all preaching and thing, and I just sitting here just giggling like a little child.
I know
but I want y'all to put closing, bring it all in. Chris, I want you to give a closing thought. Robs, I want you to give a closing thought, because we got to get out of here, and then we'll touch on how we could get back together and I guess revisit these conversations, because y'all conversations be media. I just want to sit there and listen. So Chris, go right ahead, and then Robs, you go.
Okay.
Papa, you and me?
Chris, that's you. Just say bye and thanks for coming on the show and all that.
I didn't hear anything. My internet was bad. I didn't hear anything. Thanks for having me. Collect Gold Daddy. Next time you be here, Collect Bahamas. If you're watching this, sponsor me some Collect Gold because
makes sense.
Thanks.
Makes
sense, man.
Makes sense. Over to Robs, do your shameless drop, girl.
I mean, I don't really have a shameless drop. I just want all the melanin people to, to love your melanin and let's just be out in the world being excellent. That's all I really want for us Black folk.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about. We just need to educate and empower ourselves again. Before we go, though, I want to show this picture of Kanika. Child, we got fans in the Lucha, child.
Oh yeah, Kanika. Oh yeah, hold on. Big ups to the Freedom Isle, the island of the pineapple. 334 to my city. Lower Bogue, Upper Bogue, Current, Spanish Wells, Bralin, Topham Bay, Governor's Harbor,
pineapple people is killing.
Yeah, I know other people from other places, but those are the places where I'm from. So I don't care if you're all from Rock Sound.
Big it up.
You're pineapple people. So Kanika was out and about, child, with her locked bob and was stopped by a beautiful Lutheran woman. Oda's trying to please hurry up on this picture before they start talking about history again. Here we go. Isn't that adorable? And Kanika, you clean up so good, man.
Stop it.
You're so cute. Kanika,
she's such a sweetheart. That's Lateria, guys. I ran into her when I was heading onto the beach today. She's such a sweetie. And she's like, let's take pictures. I was like, girl, I look raggy and taggy, but thanks anyhow. So she put a little filter there to make me look a little decent. So thank you, Lateria. This is Saudi Lutheran Wims Bite.
Wims is right, all right. Okay, cool.
Wims Bite, yeah. I literally in the south.
I hear you say Wims. All right.
One more shout out I gotta do. I know sometimes.
I say Wims. That's what I grew up saying.
Hey, I have the talking cup. We got a sound.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Tonight, me and DJ Ody, our producer behind the scenes, big up Ody Productions. He had a little gig out west, and I went. And I am just in love with this new Bahamian artist. I know people make fun of her, but I think she's so cool. Her song is jiggy. You can roll your eye all you want. I record her. Play the tune, Ody. This is John, boy. Play the tune. I hope she's watching tonight. Down, bend down. Hey, big up, little Daddy. Y'all, come on.
All right.
Y'all, come on.
So again, thank you guys for having me. I enjoyed being here.
Chris is shady. He is shady.
He is shady as ish.
Oh my God.
I enjoyed it.
Why you don't let that little girl live? Why you don't let her have a moment?
She's an adult woman.
Easy.
Hold on. I was trying to ask this question. How old are you? Because you were talking about cell phone in the class. I didn't even have cell phone when I was in school. But
girl could say 23. From me say
in the name of Christ. If you don't get Mara,
I didn't tell you.
That's why I tell Robs, that's a child. It's a child.
Oh, baby.
Now, I know if you pro-child like Kanika, but that's a child.
And really,
don't mind the bed. That's the little pandemic thing you got going on.
I don't have time for breastfeeding.
That's a baby.
I don't have time for breastfeeding.
Notice he only been drinking one goal. I didn't tell him.
I've actually had two.
Rude. See these Generation Z go, they rude.
They hold on.
Hold on.
Millennials, sorry. No,
don't never class me with those.
I forget.
No, you 23. You are not a millennial, baby.
I'm 25.
Wow.
I am the last year of millennials. The last
you barely skated.
Don't you ever.
You barely skated in there.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm sick and tired of you talking about I pro-child, okay? I am not about to go to jail because you're about to lie on my good flipping name. I am not. You did.
We got a topic tonight where we talk about...
You ain't gonna be blasphemous here. I dated one young guy for 5 years. My one ex-boyfriend. 29.
I'll open up the street.
Yeah. Boy, the jury's still out on that.
Look, girl, you disrespectful.
Y'all, thank you so much for joining. I had a blast tonight. When time go, it's a good show. So to our viewers, thanks for watching. Robs and Chris, thank you so much for taking time out.
Thanks for having me.
Y'all had anything to do anyway, but we appreciate you guys on the show.
Wow.
Well, this is the first curfew since the Burma Road riot. So
yeah.
I really don't have
to go down the road again. No. Really I know how you go. You opening your curriculum book. We are ending history lesson. I know how you go. Okay? Because once you give Chris a little open
round 2.
That's it. That's a couple minutes of history lessons here. The names dropped.
Listen.
We want to thank you so much for tuning in anyhow, because guess what? It's been a history lesson. I still want to elaborate more on the Fox Hill Day, because I didn't know, I ain't gonna lie. And some other stuff about Bahamian history on a serious note, so that we be more informed.
We could talk about Fox Hill Day the Monday before, so people could really know.
You mean on Emancipation Day?
The actual day, yes. Because it's the second Tuesday in August. But I want people to be informed Monday.
The holiday. It should Fox Hill Day be the holiday.
Also, Chris, I want to also drop something that Rabina in particular, she's a plus size model. I know she mentioned that before, and we were talking about beauty and stuff like that. So she will be on the panel at some point. I know me and Rabina want to talk about it.
Listen, Kanik and I have so many ideas.
Female beauty, black beauty, and all that stuff.
Yeah, we have.
What about male beauty and the fact that the hair on my head and the hair on my face?
You're right.
Don't make me handsome. We ain't
got no problem with that, Chris.
I'm appropriate for the workplace.
Papa, we ain't got no problem with that. We can set this up. We should do a real panel though. I don't know how we're gonna do it, where we could do it in live time, in a real space. But I'd love for us to have social distancing and stuff. But I want to do like a panel for all of us to have conversations about what we.
Social distancing don't count in person.
That's what she's saying, baby. That's what she's saying.
And
that's what
I should be on the island sometime around the holiday for Independence.
You better let us know ahead of time so we can plan.
I should be back in Nassau by then, I'm sure, but I should be in Nassau by then so we can make it a thing.
I forget that too.
I forget. But anyway, Kanin, I done time in. This your phrase week. You have 3 more weeks left. So let Milo them know. Google gaga googie. You could be home in 3 weeks. We things need
Donna, you sound like you could be taking care of me. I'm mine. If you could be taking care of me, I'm mine.
You like eat egg. I like.
All right, so that's our show, guys. We are overtime tonight.
Thank you for tuning in ramble on and on.
Plants and rum tonight.
And the rum. Thank you so much.
I am your guest, Chris Bahama Papa, the Caligula.
Chris Cosby show.
Thank you to Rob, our other guest. Thank you to Kanik and Mara, host.
The actual host of the show.
The actual host. My God.
We can talk offline, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all mucho.
All right.
Freedom is a must. We'll see y'all later.
God save the Queen.
Bye.
No. Ancestors be praised, but any damn God save the Queen.
If you don't end this live, you'll be here all night.